I just finished watching season 2 of Young Rich African. Did I say it right? Child, that there really was no drama until episode 4. I can save y'all the time. Jump to episode 4. Shout out to Ndile. Without him, there would have been no season 2. I want him to be the next male South African Oprah.
Two mothers, there's 3 fathers. What does it look like for you? What does your family picture look like?
He is a phenomenal conversationalist and can pull information out of anyone in a genuine way. Him bringing his baby mamas onto the show, brilliant. Apparently the drama is really fresh. Maybe that he has with the second one. The second child is very young. He's not older than 2. So this is recent drama that they're going through. When it comes to this baby mama, baby daddy thing, there is no such thing as rules. You have to find the dynamic that works for you in the most healthy way possible. There is no way. I can see him being with the second baby mama. They match each other's calm.
You need to let me go if that's the decision that you're making.
She calls him out on his stuff. She tells him the truth about who he is to his face. I can see them really working it out, but there would be no way to do it without offending Rosette. And Rosette still wants that man. And I felt like there was a part of him that knew. Like, spoiler alert, we didn't need to get to the end of the episode to figure that out. And Ndile has a type, so which makes me think, did he really like Zari or was it just for the show? I felt like they had some kind of a spark, but I'm glad that Ndile finally voiced what we were all thinking. He was a pawn in her relationship with Diamond, which brings me to the whole Diamond and Zari dynamic. Zari is a couple of years older than Diamond. And Diamond said this last season. I don't know if you guys remember. He said if he were to marry, if he was the marrying type, that Zari was the one he should have married.
Mary, you're the one that is supposed to marry.
So any woman that is dealing with him moving forward, you have to keep that in mind. I do think Fantana needs to be careful. Do y'all remember Jocelyn season 1 and her taking the pregnancy test in that bathroom and she was crying? Fantana, be careful. Sometimes you think you're playing the game so good, you think that you can't be gotten. Okay.
No, the thing is with Diamond, when I'm around, every other female doesn't exist.
So Zari has this mindset that she's the only real woman in his life. So she carries this energy like she's the madame, which she is. Again, when it comes to this baby mama, baby daddy thing, and especially when it's unresolved issues, it can be a headache. Now, I really wasn't feeling it for Fantana all the way up until the last episode where she calls Zari out. I didn't appreciate the name calling and all of that, but everything that she said about Zari was relatively true, which also brings conversation. There's a thin line between being cordial and being fake in the name of maturity. I grew up in church, and then also living in the South, people play that game all day, every day. It's very interesting to see the dynamics are the same all over the world. Diamond, you did it. You talked about Zari to that girl, Fantana. You did.
He's lying. I don't see Fantana just waking up to think, I can attack Zari because of Diamond, because of a man that I'm not with.
One thing Zari did that I like, and this is what grown women do, even though her and Fantana did not get along, she was able to acknowledge that she knows Diamond for his work. She's been with that man. She's dated with him, had kids with him. She's like, no woman is just going to wake up unless you're diabolical and crazy and say all this stuff if he did not say anything to you. That is some grown woman stuff. Her all 40-year-old age was showing in that moment, and she was fair in that aspect. He said, I can't remember what episode it was. He said, I'm not going to answer no straight questions.
Trying to make me be like having these straight answers. Straight answer when it comes to family is not good.
What? Fantana, no. Please let me know. Never heard of this girl before. It seems according to her accent or lack thereof, either her parents are Ghanaian, she's American, or was living in the UK. And like by way of that came on the show. There is a demographic she does represent. But however, I think that there were some other homebred Ghanaian stars that they could have put on this show. Which brings me to Louis. Why do they keep calling this young man Louis? Like what's with the extra S? It's Louis. Like Louis. Louis had a lot of nervous energy. We were able to figure out what that was about.
Seeing your mother and your father in 7 years.
So the rules are anybody who's part of the church, I'm not allowed to communicate with.
From the moment he came on the screen, he got on my nerves. I just have a rule. Anytime I just see a man do too much aesthetically, I'm just like, man, like on out of here. But again, shout out to Ndile, who was the champion of this season, who was really able to bring out Lewis's story and his need for acceptance and why he was just doing way too much. Do I feel like they were forcing him on us on the show? I do. Which brings me to Connie. Zari explained Connie very well.
And she's so careful how she plays the game. You won't know what she's saying. When she sits with you, it's nice. You kind of feel like she's got my back and you can be trusted.
But Connie, somebody like that is perfect for reality TV only because they are what I call a necessary evil. She knows how to get the show going. But if you realize we don't know nothing about what's going on in her life, she didn't share nothing about her reality at all. But to be honest, if she didn't stir it up, we really wouldn't have a show to watch between her and Ndile. Like, we know that she moved to Dubai. Why did you move to Dubai? Same thing with Nadia. Like, I can't even tell you. Nadia asked, a lot of people said that she was being an instigator. I think Nadia asked a lot of questions we wanted to know in situations and scenarios. Like, for example, the dinner with Annie and Tuba. Lord, let's get there. Yeah, I got to sit up for this one. I understand why Annie's on the show. She describes herself as like girl next door, which I get that vibe. She seems very likable, but also seems somewhat miserable. You are madam. I'm going to stand beside him. Now I need y'all to let me know in these comments. Did Tubaba have this extra baby or what? It's like, stop playing in our face. Math ain't mathin'. There were multiple children had with a particular 2 women.
No say has kids with 2 women, just 2. All
Yourself?
5 kids and then 2 other women with the 5 kids, 3 and 2.
I think she's one of those few people who actually shared her reality, but then got upset when people had an opinion about her reality.
I can't.
I also misunderstood something. They reminds me of very much of that auntie and uncle generation.
Excuse me, Swanky, Jeremiah, Jerry. You did man disrespect innocence? Call him. As what?
That you want to be catered to, you want your mistakes to be overlooked, you want to give a pass because you're older and you feel like you have paved the way for other people. And I was a bit taken aback by that. But I guess all demographics must be represented on this show. Now, that podcast episode with Ndile, first and foremost, when Annie gets to doing this.
It's
You put on for these cameras, girl. Annie likes it, so we love it. Moving on to Annie and Swanky. Let me tell you what the problem with Annie and Swanky is. Some relationships are built because they talk mess about other people, but there will always come a time where the tables will be turned on each other.
Yeah, maybe you felt like, oh, I don't want to affiliate with Swanky.
Swanky looked at me like dirt. There's Swanky and Scandal, he doesn't like that.
And that's the thing about gossip. When you deal with people who love gossip, it will always be messy. There will always be drama. I personally don't like to put up with it because it always turns into some mess. They made Angela so upset. He was taking off his mic and going, y'all doing too much. I gotta go.
I understand you.
Missing anybody? Banyang was on there for like 2 seconds. I just think Swanky's doing a lot. I feel like people have studied reality TV and is like, all right, I'm going to put on a show. I'm going to bring the ratings up. I'm going to act like this. And I really liked him a little bit more. I think last season he was, and his loyalty that he had to his friends and the genuine love, all this extra stuff, the t-shirt with Lewis, just kind of being mean and going in on people. It just seems very bullyish. And I just, oh, DJ Naked. DJ Naked's personality is so off-putting to me. I don't know what it is. I forget that Kylie's on the show. No shade to them, but if they didn't come back next season, I really wouldn't remember them much. I think the whole trailer, him asking relationship advice with Connie, proposing but not proposing, and then giving a key to his home.
Why wouldn't you just go straight to the real thing?
I think both of us know that we're not ready.
Okay, so you were like just dangling the carrot?
I think that was just slow torture to that girl. It just was. All right, in a nutshell, DJ Naked can go, Kylie can go, Lewis can go. Annie needs a friend. I don't know if her and Swanky will ever be like this again, to be very honest with you. There needs to be an extra dynamic. They need like an additional, Fantana can go. There needs to be an additional 1 or 2 people. Some faces we're kind of familiar with, but we don't really know their story much.